Hello and welcome back to our channel. Ever feel like you're spinning your wheels trying to get noticed and appreciated? We give it our all at work with friends and family, chasing our dreams, but sometimes those connections just feel lacking. Wouldn't it be awesome to have a hidden superpower, a way to become someone people naturally connect with, someone they see as truly important? Well, that superpower might be hiding in plain sight in a philosophy you might not expect: Stoicism. Now, ditch the image of emotionless robots. Stoicism is actually a powerhouse for living a life that matters. It's about focusing on the things you can control, bouncing back from setbacks with your head held high, and making solid choices based on strong values. By putting these ideas into practice, we can transform ourselves into people who command respect, inspire trust, and build real connections with the people around us. This video dives deep into 10 key Stoic principles that can make you the go-to person in everyone's life. We'll be talking about stuff like mastering self-respect, keeping a cool head under pressure, and living with rock-solid integrity. You'll learn how to set boundaries that work for you, discover your own unique purpose, and communicate with confidence that lights up a room. By harnessing the wisdom of Stoicism, you'll cultivate an inner strength and peace that naturally draws people in. So, ditch the hustle and join us on a journey of self-discovery. We're about to crack the code on becoming someone of true value, a trusted friend, and a rock-solid confidant. With Stoicism as your guide, you won't just become everyone's top priority. You'll build a life overflowing with purpose, meaning, and genuine happiness that lasts. Buckle up, it's going to be an awesome ride. 1. Set clear expectations. Communicate your virtue with clarity. Stoic communication aimed for honesty and directness, reflecting their values. We spend a lot of time in our social lives playing a complicated game of charades. We meticulously curate online profiles, hoping to project the perfect image that will attract our dream partner or land the ideal job. We drop subtle hints about our desires, expecting others to pick up on them and fulfill our unspoken needs. This dance of implication is exhausting, and more often than not, it leads to frustration. Unmet expectations fester into resentment, and our needs go perpetually unheard. The solution is surprisingly simple: clear communication. Instead of wasting energy trying to control someone else's behavior, a battle destined for disappointment, we can focus on what we can control: our own communication. By initiating open and honest conversations with friends, family, and partners about what we expect from the relationships, we empower them to understand our desires and respond in a way that feels meaningful. This doesn't guarantee they'll always fulfill every request, but it fosters transparency and allows for collaborative problem solving. We can work together to find solutions that benefit everyone. Clear expectations also breed respect. When we voice our needs with confidence, we demonstrate self-awareness and a willingness to take charge of our own happiness. This, in turn, encourages a sense of reciprocity. Open communication about what matters to us invites others to share their priorities as well. This exchange fosters empathy and understanding, building a foundation for strong relationships based on mutual respect and consideration. Imagine two friends. One constantly feels unsupported and unheard, while the other feels overwhelmed by unspoken expectations. A simple conversation about needing a listening ear during tough times, or offering specific help with tasks, could completely transform this dynamic. Clear communication allows friends to offer support in ways that are truly meaningful and avoid misunderstandings that can erode trust over time. The same applies to romantic relationships. Discussing expectations around quality time, emotional support, or household responsibilities prevents resentment from building and ensures both partners feel valued and understood. Imagine you're at work, diligently tackling your tasks, when a coworker bursts into your cubicle visibly upset. They unload about a frustrating interaction with a client, venting their anger and using strong language. Here's where the Stoic proverb comes in. You have a choice. React impulsively. You might feel a surge of empathy, perhaps even anger on their behalf. You could jump in and offer solutions, or worse, get sucked into gossiping about the client. This might make your coworker feel momentarily better, but it doesn't address the root of the issue and could even escalate the negativity. Respond thoughtfully. Instead, take a deep breath and acknowledge the impression. You can say something like, "Wow, that sounds like a frustrating situation. Do you want to talk about it?" This validates their feelings without getting swept away in their emotional state. Now you can choose how to proceed. Offer a listening ear. If your coworker just needs to vent, simply listen attentively. Ask clarifying questions to help them process the situation. This demonstrates compassion and allows them to calm down. Offer solutions, if appropriate. Once they've calmed down, you can offer suggestions for dealing with the client in the future. This might involve communication techniques or problem-solving strategies. Set boundaries. If you're swamped with work or simply not the right person to handle this, politely explain that you can't offer extensive help at this moment. You could suggest they talk to their manager or recommend resources like the company's employee assistance program. By following these steps, you're demonstrating emotional intelligence, acknowledging their feelings, offering support without getting entangled, and setting boundaries to protect your own well-being. This approach creates a healthier dynamic, allows you to maintain focus on your work, and ultimately empowers your coworker to find solutions. The goal isn't to become everyone's top priority. It's about fostering healthy, balanced relationships where everyone's needs are acknowledged and respected. By taking control of what we can, our own communication, we empower ourselves to build strong, fulfilling connections built on reciprocity. In a world that often prioritizes unspoken desires, clear communication offers a powerful tool for cultivating genuine connection and achieving emotional well-being in all our relationships. This isn't just a recipe for happier relationships, it's a recipe for a happier life. By taking charge of how we communicate, we can move from a world of frustration and guesswork to a world of understanding and connection, where our needs are heard and our relationships can truly thrive. 2. Be reliable and dependable. Be a pillar of virtue in your actions. Stoic actions were guided by reason and virtue, making them reliable. Imagine a world where your word is your bond, not just in grand pronouncements, but in the everyday tapestry of life. A Stoic might tell you this unwavering reliability is the secret sauce to becoming someone people naturally prioritize. It's the quiet hum that builds trust in the background of your interactions, the foundation upon which strong relationships are built. Think about it. A friend who cancels plans last minute, a colleague who misses deadlines with a shrug, a family member whose promises are as fleeting as smoke. Now, contrast that with the friend who's always there, the colleague who consistently delivers high-quality work on time, the family member whose word is as solid as granite. This reliability becomes the cornerstone of your relationships. It fosters a sense of security and stability, a quiet confidence that people can count on you. Let's see together this Stoic story. Imagine the weight of an empire on your shoulders. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, knew that weight all too well. His reign was a tapestry woven with war, plague, and natural disasters, a time that demanded a leader of unwavering reliability. But Aurelius wasn't just a thinker who penned philosophical treatises. He was a living embodiment of Stoicism in action. His unwavering reliability manifested itself most clearly in his dedication to duty. Despite the toll it took on his personal life, Aurelius spent years on military campaigns, leading his armies from the unforgiving trenches. The soldiers under his command weren't led by a distant figurehead. They saw an emperor who shared their hardships, who wouldn't demand comforts he wouldn't endure himself. This forged a powerful bond of trust and respect, a crucial element in maintaining morale during brutal campaigns. They knew, without a doubt, that Aurelius wouldn't ask them to do anything he wouldn't do himself. Here, reliability wasn't just a concept. It was a shared experience, a foundation of trust built in the mud and sweat of war. But reliability goes beyond the battlefield. As emperor, Aurelius displayed this principle in his governance. His focus wasn't on personal glory. It was on the well-being of his citizens. He ensured fair laws, a functioning infrastructure, and a just legal system. The people knew they could depend on him to make difficult decisions with the empire's best interests at heart, even when those decisions were unpopular. This fostered a sense of stability and security within Roman society, a testament to the power of reliable leadership. Aurelius wasn't just a leader who made promises. He was a leader whose actions consistently reflected his commitments. However, Stoicism teaches that reliability isn't just about grand gestures on a national scale. It's about the quiet consistency woven into the fabric of everyday life. Marcus Aurelius wasn't just a strong leader. He was also a devoted husband and father. Despite the demands of his position, he prioritized his family, writing extensively in his personal meditations about his relationships with his wife and children. This dedication, even in the face of immense responsibility, reflected his commitment to his Stoic principles. Reliability wasn't a public persona he donned for the empire. It was a core value that permeated every aspect of his life. The legacy of Marcus Aurelius isn't confined to the pages of his philosophical writings. It's etched in the memory of his people, a testament to the power of unwavering reliability. He stands as a beacon of hope, a leader who, in the face of immense challenges, embodied Stoic ideals and became someone his people could depend on, someone they knew would always see things through. But reliability goes deeper than just keeping promises. Stoicism emphasizes understanding what's within your control and what isn't. Life throws curveballs, unexpected events that can derail even the best-laid plans. You can't control these, but you can control your response. By being honest and upfront about your capabilities from the outset, you set realistic expectations. This avoids disappointment and fosters a deeper trust based on authenticity. Remember that time you relied on someone who overpromised and underdelivered? The frustration you felt likely stemmed from a broken trust built on unrealistic expectations. A reliable person, however, manages expectations. They might explain their workload and offer alternative solutions, building trust and respect far more effectively. It's about clear communication and honest assessment, demonstrating that your word holds weight, even when circumstances might shift. This reliability breeds dependability. When people consistently see you deliver, they're more likely to turn to you for help or support. This doesn't mean becoming a burden bearer, but it positions you as someone who can be counted on in times of need. It can lead to increased responsibility and opportunities for growth, both personally and professionally. Imagine a mentor who consistently offers guidance and support, someone colleagues know they can rely on for a helping hand. This fosters a sense of value and strengthens your position within a team or community. It's not about being a pushover. It's about demonstrating your commitment to those around you, making you someone people naturally prioritize and seek out in their lives. In a world filled with uncertainty, unwavering reliability becomes a beacon of trust, a quiet power that strengthens your relationships and fosters a life of meaning. 3. Value your time and presence. Guard your allotted time with virtue. Stoics believed time was their most valuable resource, and using it wisely was virtuous. Let's talk about this Stoic rule. In Stoic philosophy, virtue reigns supreme. Cultivating wisdom, phronesis, justice, dikaiosine, courage, andreia, and temperance, sophrosyne, isn't theoretical. It's the daily armor you wear in life's battles. This includes managing requests and protecting your time, a finite wellspring from which you draw to fulfill your duties. A core Stoic principle is acting in accordance with reason, logos. This demands careful allocation of your wellspring. Accepting every request, no matter how well-intentioned, can quickly drain your energy, hindering your ability to fulfill obligations and act virtuously. Imagine a Stoic soldier, tasked with defending a vital outpost. Overwhelmed by pleas to join every minor skirmish, he risks neglecting his critical post. Similarly, by setting boundaries and declining draining requests, you prioritize what truly matters. This empowers you to act with wisdom, focusing your energy on essential roles, be it guiding your children, upholding the law, or offering genuine support. Only then can you pursue your virtuous goals, contributing meaningfully to the world. Stoicism emphasizes focusing on what you control: your thoughts, actions, and reactions. The requests of others, the whims of fate, these lie outside your domain. But your response is entirely yours. Saying no isn't selfishness. It's a courageous act of audacia, Stoic boldness in the face of difficulty. It's taking ownership of your time and energy, refusing to be buffeted by external forces. This allows you to be fully present in important moments, offering your best self, eudaimon, to those you care about. You dedicate your energy to tasks aligned with your values, tasks that contribute to living a virtuous life, eudaimonia. Consider Seneca the Younger, Roman Stoic philosopher and advisor to Emperor Nero. Seneca's days overflowed with requests, each vying for a piece of his wellspring. Political machinations demanded his strategic mind, a test of his justice in navigating the treacherous court. Social obligations nibbled at his time, a potential distraction from his core duties. And the relentless demands of court life, with its empty displays of luxury, threatened to engulf him. These requests, though seemingly important, could easily deplete his wellspring. Guided by Stoic principles, Seneca meticulously evaluated each request. A plea from a fellow advisor for help navigating a political quagmire, recognizing justice's importance, might be met with his counsel. However, a frivolous social gathering hosted by a social climber, offering no opportunity for meaningful discourse or societal contribution, would be politely declined. Discerning true value with the wisdom of a Stoic sage, Seneca understood it wouldn't contribute to his well-being or align with his Stoic philosophy. This act of saying no wouldn't be perceived as a slight. Seneca's colleagues and acquaintances, aware of his character and dedication to virtue, would understand. His yes would hold weight, a signal of genuine commitment rather than mere obligation, fostering trust and strengthening genuine connections. Philia. By prioritizing his time and energy, Seneca could dedicate himself fully to the tasks that truly mattered. Uninterrupted hours could be spent fulfilling his duties as an advisor, offering wise counsel to Nero when the emperor was receptive. He could then turn his focus to philosophical pursuits, a core aspect of his Stoic practice, enriching his own life and potentially influencing the emperor for the better. By fiercely guarding his time, Seneca could be a more present and effective advisor, a more dedicated philosopher, and ultimately, a more virtuous individual. This is the essence of the Stoic approach. It's not about social withdrawal. It's about the courage to say no, prioritize your well-being, and dedicate yourself to fulfilling essential roles with focused energy. By following this path, like Seneca, you become a top priority not through constant busyness, but through the wise and courageous allocation of your most valuable resource, yourself. This, in turn, allows you to fulfill your duties, contribute to society, and ultimately, live a life aligned with Stoic virtue. 4. Maintain healthy emotional boundaries. Distinguish between what you can control and what you cannot. Stoics focused on controlling their own reactions, not external events or other people's emotions. Ever feel like you're constantly on emotional call for everyone around you? A friend has a fight with their partner and needs your shoulder to cry on. A coworker complains endlessly about their workload, bringing down your own mood. It's easy to get swept up in other people's dramas. But what if there was a way to be supportive without getting burnt out? Enter the ancient philosophy of Stoicism. You might be surprised to learn that maintaining healthy emotional boundaries, a core tenet of Stoicism, can actually make you a better friend, colleague, and overall person. Picture this: you're cruising through your day, feeling pretty zen. Then, bam, a friend vents about a fight, leaving you emotionally wrung out. A coworker drones on about their boss, sucking the positivity right out of you. The news throws negativity confetti everywhere. Suddenly, your inner peace feels like a distant memory. This emotional roller coaster is exactly what the Stoic proverb, "Not every impression needs an answer," seeks to avoid. It might sound simple, but it's a superpower for managing those pesky emotional boundaries. Think of yourself as a Stoic in training, someone on a quest for inner peace and clear thinking. Every day is filled with impressions, situations, and conversations that could potentially hijack your emotions. A friend's meltdown, a colleague's gripe, the world's woes on the news. All these things have the power to pull you in. Here's the Stoic wisdom. You don't have to respond to every single impression. You get to choose. Often, getting tangled in drama involves knee-jerk reactions fueled by emotions like empathy, anger, or frustration. But by recognizing these situations as just impressions, you can take a deep breath and engage your reason. This doesn't mean turning into an emotionless robot. A true Stoic can be a fantastic listener, someone who offers a supportive ear. However, they understand the difference between listening and becoming a sponge for negativity. Setting healthy boundaries allows for a measured response. You can be there for someone without becoming their emotional dumping ground. Maybe you offer a word of encouragement or ask questions to help them work through their situation on their own. The key takeaway? Be mindful of the impressions you let influence your emotions. Boundaries are your shield. They let you choose how you respond to situations, protecting your well-being and allowing you to be a more centered and supportive friend or colleague. It's all about living virtuously, as the Stoics would say, by using reason to navigate the emotional storms of life. After all, a calm and collected presence is far more helpful than someone swept away by the drama. Think of it like this: when you're constantly entangled in other people's emotional storms, your own well-being becomes a ship tossed around in rough seas. A friend vents about a fight, leaving you feeling drained. A coworker complains nonstop, dragging down your own motivation. By setting boundaries, you're not being cold or uncaring. It's like putting on a life vest where you're acknowledging that you can't control the waves, other people's emotions, or steer their ship, solve their problems. This allows you to offer a safe harbor for them to vent while protecting your own emotional energy. The surprising part? Setting boundaries can actually make you a more supportive friend in the long run. Imagine being the friend someone constantly relies on for emotional dumping. You listen patiently, offer endless advice, and take on their burdens as your own. While this might feel helpful initially, it can become emotionally unsustainable. By setting boundaries like limiting venting sessions or offering support without fixing everything, you encourage your friend to develop their own coping mechanisms. This empowers them to navigate challenges independently, fostering a more resilient and supportive friendship in the long run. It's like teaching someone to fish instead of simply giving them a fish every time they're hungry. The same principle applies in professional settings. When you're constantly bombarded with negativity from colleagues, it can create a toxic work environment. Setting boundaries, like politely disengaging from gossip or focusing on your work during work hours, allows you to maintain a positive and productive attitude. This doesn't mean ignoring your colleagues' struggles. It simply means prioritizing your own well-being while still offering a listening ear when appropriate. By taking care of yourself, you become a more reliable and focused colleague, someone others can truly depend on. It's like being the calm in the storm, a reliable presence others can count on when things get hectic. Ultimately, maintaining healthy emotional boundaries isn't about becoming an emotionless robot. It's about self-care and taking responsibility for your own emotional well-being. This allows you to show up for others in a more authentic and present way. By prioritizing your own peace of mind, you become a beacon of calm and reason, the kind of person others naturally gravitate towards. So, the next time you feel yourself getting pulled into someone else's drama, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Set healthy boundaries, and you might just become everyone's top priority for the right reasons. Because you're a reliable, supportive, and centered friend and colleague, not an emotional sponge. 5. Be a good listener. Offer a Stoic ear for those seeking counsel. Stoics valued reason and logic, so listening patiently to another's perspective aligned with this. Take an example of a world perpetually on fast forward, a constant barrage of information and stimuli. In this whirlwind, the art of listening can easily become a forgotten relic. However, an ancient philosophy that emphasizes reason and virtue, let's call it the school of reason, elevates listening to a cornerstone of meaningful connection. By becoming a skilled listener, you transform yourself from a bystander into a sanctuary, a place where unwavering support and a safe space for expression coexist. This, in turn, grants you the cherished status of a confidant, a friend people hold dear. The school of reason rests upon the bedrock of controllables, the understanding that we can only truly influence our own thoughts, actions, and reactions. The external world, a symphony of words and actions played out by others, remains firmly outside our control. When we engage in active listening, we don't attempt to wrestle the conversation to the ground or offer solutions before they're requested. Instead, we become a pillar of acknowledgement and validation for their emotions, actions entirely within our domain. This cultivates a haven of trust and psychological safety, a space where people feel comfortable shedding their armor and expressing their vulnerabilities without fear of judgment. The school of reason goes a step further, championing not just listening, but empathetic understanding. Active listening allows us to shed our own perspective and see the world through the eyes of another. We become keen observers, not just of their spoken words, but also of the silent language of nonverbal cues. Our aim is to decipher the undercurrent of emotions that flow beneath the surface of their expressions. This doesn't necessitate blind agreement with everything they say, but rather fosters a connection that transcends mere words. By offering this kind of empathetic listening, we embody the school of reason's ideal of considering the well-being of others. We transform from good listeners into unwavering pillars of support for those around us. The rewards of being a good listener extend far beyond the simple act of making someone feel seen. By creating a platform for open and honest communication, you cultivate deeper connections and forge stronger relationships. People who feel heard and understood are more likely to confide in you, trust your judgment, and value your opinion. This can be an immense asset in both your personal and professional life. In a world that often feels isolating, your ability to truly listen can make you a beacon of support, a top priority for those seeking genuine connection. Finally, becoming a good listener is an investment in your own personal growth journey. By actively listening to others, you gain a richer understanding of the world, encountering diverse perspectives that broaden your own horizons. It allows you to hone your patience, develop emotional intelligence, and refine your communication skills. By embracing this principle from the school of reason, You not only become a better friend and confidant, but you also cultivate inner strength and wisdom, a valuable reward for both yourself and those you connect with on this shared human experience. 6. Practice self-reflection. Through introspection, hone your virtue. Self-reflection was crucial for Stoics to understand their strengths, weaknesses, and how to live virtuously. We all know the feeling of being lost at sea, tossed around by currents and storms with no clear direction. Stoicism offers a life raft in this chaotic world, and the most crucial or to propel ourselves forward is the practice of self-reflection. Unlike other Stoic principles that focus on external forces beyond our control, self-reflection dives inwards, empowering us to understand the captain at the helm ourselves. Think of it this way. Before a skilled artist tackles a masterpiece, they spend years honing their craft, studying anatomy, and understanding the properties of their chosen medium. Self-reflection works the same way, equipping us with the tools to sculpt our own lives. Journaling becomes our sketchbook. By capturing our experiences, emotions, and reactions throughout the day, we can revisit them later. Just like a detective piecing together clues, recurring patterns start to emerge. We see situations that consistently trigger anger, tasks that leave us energized, or values that constantly guide our decisions. This self-discovery unveils our strengths and weaknesses, the areas where we naturally shine and those that require some chiseling. Meditation, on the other hand, becomes our quiet studio. Here, in the stillness, we can observe the internal landscape of our thoughts and beliefs without judgment. It's like stepping back from a painting to see the bigger picture. We can identify negative self-talk or limiting assumptions that might be holding us back, like a hidden brushstroke distorting the entire artwork. Understanding our strengths allows us to play to our natural talents. Imagine discovering a knack for public speaking, a superpower in your career, or maybe you find that meticulous planning brings you a sense of calm, allowing you to approach challenges with a clear strategy. Self-reflection isn't just about basking in our strengths. It also sheds light on our weaknesses. Perhaps you realize procrastination is the villain constantly stealing your productivity, or a quick temper leads to rash decisions. But this awareness isn't about self-criticism. It's the first step to improvement. By acknowledging these shortcomings, we can actively work on mitigating them. We can explore time management techniques to combat procrastination or practice mindfulness exercises to manage our temper. Self-reflection empowers both growth and self-compassion, like a skilled artist learning to refine their technique without losing sight of their unique style. Finally, self-reflection reveals our core values, the fundamental principles that act as the compass guiding our actions and decisions. Do we value honesty above all else? Perhaps justice or compassion drives our choices. Identifying these guiding lights allows us to live with greater authenticity and purpose. It equips us to navigate ethical dilemmas with clarity, ensuring our actions align with our deepest held beliefs. In a world filled with distractions and conflicting messages, a firm grasp on our values acts as a moral compass, guiding us towards a life of integrity and fulfillment. In essence, Stoicism's emphasis on self-reflection isn't a luxury reserved for philosophers. It's a necessity for anyone seeking a fulfilling life. By dedicating time to journaling, meditation, and introspective analysis, we gain the knowledge and tools required to navigate life's storms with greater resilience and purpose. This practice transcends philosophy. It's a universal rule for anyone seeking personal growth, self-mastery, and a life aligned with their highest values. 7. Live with virtue. Embody the cardinal virtues in all you do. Courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance were the core Stoic virtues to cultivate. We meander through life, each decision, big or small, a thread woven into the tapestry of our experiences. The philosophy of Stoicism, with its emphasis on reason and virtue, offers a sturdy loom for navigating this journey. At its heart lies the simple, yet profound, idea of living virtuously, cultivating qualities like courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance. Far from a self-centered pursuit, this Stoic principle should be everyone's guiding star. By embodying these virtues, we not only enrich our own lives but also become beacons of inspiration, sparking positive change in the world around us. Imagine a life fueled by courage. It's not the absence of fear, but the unwavering ability to act despite it. Standing up for what's right, even when our knees wobble, requires courage. It's the fuel that propels us to chase dreams, conquer challenges, and fiercely protect those we love. This unwavering strength becomes contagious, inspiring others to tap into their own bravery and weave a more just world. A courageous leader, for example, fosters a sense of security, empowering those around them to rise to the occasion. Just as ripples emanate from a single pebble tossed into a still pond, acts of courage can create a domino effect of positive action. Wisdom, another cornerstone of Stoicism, transcends mere knowledge. It's the ability to think critically, see the grand tapestry of life, and make sound choices. A wise person avoids impulsive judgments, carefully considering all threads before weaving them into the fabric of their actions. This thoughtful approach not only leads to a more peaceful and fulfilling life, but its impact extends far beyond the individual. Wisdom fosters trust and respect. When someone consistently makes well-considered decisions, others naturally seek their guidance. This creates a ripple effect of wise decision-making, strengthening communities and fostering a more equitable society. Justice, the unwavering commitment to fairness, forms the very foundation of a harmonious society, compels us to treat others with respect, even when we disagree. A just person strives to understand different perspectives and becomes a voice for the voiceless. This relentless pursuit of fairness is far from passive. It involves speaking out against injustice, holding ourselves and others accountable, and actively working towards a world where the scales are balanced. Just actions have a powerful ripple effect, inspiring others to champion fairness and build a society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Finally, temperance, the virtue of self-control and moderation, is crucial for navigating life's inevitable storms. It allows us to manage our emotions, desires, and impulses, weaving a tapestry of balance and fulfillment. Someone who embodies temperance avoids being swept away by fleeting pleasures or succumbing to despair in the face of hardship. This self-mastery not only strengthens our own well-being, but also inspires others to cultivate healthy habits and make responsible choices. A temperate leader, for example, sets an example of measured judgment, avoiding reckless decisions. Their self-control fosters trust and stability, creating a ripple effect of responsible behavior within the community. Octavia, a prominent merchant in a bustling Roman city, navigates the cutthroat world of commerce with a quiet strength. Unlike her competitors who prioritize short-term gains through deceit and manipulation, Octavia embodies the Stoic virtues, fostering trust and building a legacy of integrity. Courage. Octavia faces constant pressure to compromise her ethics. Competitors offer bribes to undercut her prices, and influential figures demand kickbacks in exchange for favorable contracts. Yet, Octavia demonstrates courage. She refuses to engage in unethical practices, even when it means losing potential profits or facing ridicule. Her unwavering commitment to fairness requires courage, for it risks jeopardizing her business and social standing. However, this courage inspires loyalty from her customers and employees. They recognize her honesty and appreciate the predictability of fair dealings. Wisdom. Octavia doesn't operate her business in a bubble. She embodies the virtue of wisdom by understanding the broader economic landscape. She researches market trends, anticipates customer needs, and invests in quality products. This wisdom allows her to navigate fluctuations in the market and make sound business decisions. She doesn't chase fleeting fads or engage in risky ventures simply to turn a quick profit. Instead, she builds a sustainable business model based on long-term value and customer satisfaction. Justice. Octavia ensures her business practices are just, both internally and externally. She pays her workers a fair wage, providing them with decent working conditions. This fosters a sense of loyalty and dedication amongst her employees, who take pride in their work and the company they represent. Externally, Octavia advocates for fair trade practices and speaks out against corruption within the industry. She understands that a just and equitable marketplace benefits everyone in the long run. Temperance. The world of commerce can be a whirlwind of temptations. Octavia embodies temperance by avoiding greed and excessive ambition. She doesn't seek to amass wealth at any cost. Instead, she focuses on providing quality products and services at a reasonable price. This measured approach allows her to build trust with her customers, who appreciate her commitment to fair pricing. Moreover, she avoids the stress and anxiety associated with chasing ever-increasing profits. Her self-control fosters a sense of stability and purpose within her company, creating a work environment that prioritizes quality over quantity. Through her Stoic principles, Octavia becomes a role model in the marketplace. Her courage inspires others to act with integrity. Her wisdom demonstrates the benefits of sustainable practices. Her justice fosters a fairer business environment, and her temperance promotes responsible growth. Octavia's success proves that ethical conduct isn't just a moral imperative, but also a sound business strategy. This, in turn, inspires positive change within the industry, creating a ripple effect of integrity that benefits both businesses and consumers. By living with virtue, we don't simply create a better life for ourselves. We weave a brighter future for those around us. Stoicism's focus on courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance isn't a self-serving pursuit, but a call to be the best version of ourselves and, in turn, elevate the world around us. Let us strive to weave a tapestry of virtue, one courageous act, wise decision, just deed, and temperate choice at a time, inspiring a world where everyone can flourish. 8. Walk away from toxic people. Do not waste your virtue on those who diminish it. Stoics believed negativity could be contagious, so distancing themselves from negativity protected their own virtue. Seneca, the Roman philosopher and advisor to emperors, understood the peril of toxic people all too well. His life was a constant dance between duty and self-preservation, a testament to the Stoic ideal of navigating a complex world without losing his inner peace. Imagine the opulent halls of Nero's palace. Seneca, a man already past his prime, served as a tutor and confidant to the young, volatile emperor. Nero, however, was surrounded by advisors who whispered poison in his ear, men who fueled his paranoia and extravagance. Seneca, a champion of reason and moderation, found himself constantly walking a tightrope. On one hand, he had a duty to guide Nero, to steer him towards a just and virtuous rule. This meant offering advice even when it was unwelcome. Seneca knew the dangers. One misplaced word could be seen as criticism, a spark igniting Nero's fury. Yet, to remain silent was to condone Nero's descent into tyranny. Here, Seneca employed the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control. He couldn't control Nero's actions, but he could control his own. He chose his words carefully, couching advice as stories or observations, hoping reason would seep through Nero's growing paranoia. But there were limits. Seneca, ever the pragmatist, knew when to retreat. There were times when Nero was simply not receptive. To persist would have been a waste of energy, a depletion of Seneca's own well-being. He would step back, bide his time, wait for a more opportune moment. This wasn't cowardice. It was strategic self-preservation. By removing himself from the toxic atmosphere of Nero's inner circle for a time, Seneca could regroup, conserve his emotional energy, and prepare for the next battle. He knew that a depleted well could offer no nourishment. Only by staying emotionally strong could he continue to be a force for good, a beacon of reason in a court swirling with chaos. Seneca's story illustrates the Stoic wisdom behind walking away from toxic people. It's not about abandoning responsibility. It's about choosing your battles wisely. Sometimes the most virtuous course is to step back, to protect your own well-being so that you can fight another day. Only then can you become a true source of strength for those who deserve it, just as Seneca, despite the dangers, continued to hope for a positive influence on Nero, a testament to his unwavering commitment to Stoic ideals. Picture this. Your energy and time are like a vibrant spring, constantly bubbling up to fill the well from which your thoughts and actions flow. Every interaction you have, every conversation you engage in, takes a sip from that well. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy focused on resilience and virtue, reminds us to be choosy about who gets to tap into this precious resource. Toxic people, those who seem to perpetually drain your optimism and positivity, are like emotional vampires. Their negativity, dripping from relentless complaints, harsh criticism, or a general cynical outlook, creates a toxic atmosphere that can slowly erode your well-being. Engaging with them becomes a recipe for frustration and wasted energy. Left depleted, you struggle to focus on what truly matters. Cultivating good character, living with purpose, and making a positive impact on the world. Here's where the core Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control comes in. We can only control our own thoughts, perceptions, and actions, not external events or the behavior of others. A toxic person's negativity is ultimately beyond your control, but the power lies in choosing how you respond. By walking away from negativity, you're essentially guarding your inner citadel, your mental and emotional well-being, from being besieged by external forces. Now, this doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. Stoicism is all about cultivating virtue and compassion. But there's wisdom in recognizing when a situation is beyond your influence. Just as a wise general wouldn't waste resources defending an indefensible position, you shouldn't expend your emotional energy on those who will only drag you down. The Stoic rule of walking away from toxic people isn't about becoming everyone's top priority. It's about self-preservation, about ensuring you have the emotional reserves to be the best version of yourself. By protecting your inner wellspring, you empower yourself to contribute meaningfully to the world, a core tenet of Stoicism. A full well can overflow and nourish others, but a depleted one can offer nothing but emptiness. In safeguarding your resources, you ultimately become a source of strength for those who deserve it, those who will uplift you in return, creating a virtuous cycle of positivity. 9. Don't be a people pleaser. Seek authenticity in your actions. Stoics emphasized living according to their own values, not the whims of others. The scent of pine needles and wet clay hung heavy in the air of Gaius' workshop. Sunlight streamed through the open windows, illuminating rows of pottery stacked neatly on shelves. Gaius, a man of average stature with a head full of unruly brown hair, ran a hand over the smooth surface of a freshly molded vase. Unlike the flamboyant creations popular in the city, Gaius' work was known for its simple elegance and functionality, each piece a testament to the earth from which it came. One crisp autumn morning, the shop door creaked open, and in walked Valeria, a woman whose reputation for lavish living rivaled even the most decadent noble. Her flamboyant dress, adorned with shimmering jewels, seemed to fill the entire room as she swept past the rows of pottery. Her eyes, however, held a glint of something more than just curiosity. "These are interesting," Valeria drawled, picking up a simple, unadorned oil lamp. "A bit plain, wouldn't you say? Where's the pizzazz? The colors that scream for attention?" Gaius, unfazed by her condescending tone, set the lamp down with a gentle thud. "My work, Lady Valeria, reflects my philosophy. It's honest, built to last, and serves a purpose. I believe in letting the natural beauty of the clay shine through, not masking it with unnecessary adornment." Valeria scoffed. "But surely, a man with your skill could create something more befitting someone of my stature? A centerpiece that would be the envy of all Rome." A smile played on Gaius' lips, a smile that spoke of quiet confidence. "True value, Lady Valeria, lies not in the fleeting trends of the season, but in the enduring quality of what is crafted. A piece made with integrity will stand the test of time, long after the thrill of the new has faded." He continued, his voice taking on a gentle yet firm tone. "Imagine this lamp, Lady Valeria, illuminating your evenings, not with blinding flash, but with a steady, warm glow. It would be a constant reminder of the quiet strength found in simplicity." Valeria's gaze flickered across the room, landing on a woman named Claudia, one of her companions. Unlike the others who seemed more interested in the sparkle of jewels, Claudia's attention was held by Gaius' words. A thoughtful frown creased her forehead. "Are you not concerned with what others think of your work?" she finally asked, her voice laced with a hint of curiosity. Gaius met her gaze with an unwavering confidence. "It is important to be respected for who you are, Lady Claudia," he replied. "But chasing the approval of every passerby is a recipe for disappointment. I believe in living in accordance with my principles, and those principles guide me to create pottery that is both beautiful and serves a purpose." Claudia nodded slowly, a newfound respect blossoming in her eyes. Valeria, however, remained unconvinced. With a dismissive wave of her hand, she swept out of the shop, her entourage trailing behind with nervous giggles. The following week, a familiar figure returned Claudia. Unlike Valeria, she approached the pottery with a sense of reverence. Her fingers traced the curves of a simple vase, a smile gracing her lips. "This," she said, her voice filled with genuine admiration, "speaks of something deeper than mere decoration. It speaks of strength, purpose, and a connection with the earth itself." Gaius smiled back, warmth radiating from his eyes. "Thank you, Lady Claudia. It is meant for someone who appreciates the quiet beauty in everyday things." That day, Claudia didn't just buy a vase. She bought a piece of Gaius' philosophy. From then on, she became a regular visitor, drawn to his authenticity and the enduring quality of his work. Not everyone appreciated Gaius' simple pottery, but for those who resonated with his principles, each piece became a cherished possession, a reminder of the value found in staying true to oneself. Gaius' story became a whispered legend throughout the city, a testament to the Stoic belief that true happiness comes not from people-pleasing, but from living with integrity and purpose. Imagine yourself at a bustling social gathering. Conversations swirl around you, a cacophony of laughter, opinions, and requests. It's easy to feel the pressure to blend in, to become the person everyone wants to be around. You might offer witty remarks, volunteer for every task, or even bend your own opinions to fit the flow of the conversation. This, however, is the path of the people-pleaser, and Stoicism offers a different perspective, a path that cultivates genuine connection over fleeting approval. The Stoics, with their emphasis on living virtuously and in accordance with nature, believed that true happiness comes from within. Think of it like this: you're not a chameleon, constantly changing colors to match your surroundings. You're a unique tree, with strong roots grounded in your values and principles. These roots allow you to weather the storms of social pressure and external expectations. As Epictetus, a prominent Stoic thinker, said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one another's rights and privileges." This doesn't mean you become an isolated island. It simply means you understand your own boundaries and navigate relationships with authenticity. People-pleasing, on the other hand, is like planting yourself in a pot, constantly being moved around to please the gardener, the people around you. This not only weakens your own foundation but also creates a disconnect in your relationships. Imagine a close friend asks you to do something that clashes with your morals. The Stoic approach encourages honest communication. Explain your reservations with kindness, but don't compromise your integrity. This fosters trust and a deeper connection, unlike the fragile bond built on coerced agreement. Furthermore, authenticity acts like a powerful magnet, drawing people towards you for who you truly are. Think of it like a forest. There's room for a variety of trees, each with its own unique qualities. People are drawn to those who possess unwavering integrity and express themselves genuinely. This doesn't require constant confrontation. It's about presenting your true self with confidence and kindness. Just as a majestic oak doesn't need to boast about its strength, you don't need to wear a mask to be appreciated. In turn, you'll attract individuals who value your authenticity and appreciate you for who you are, flaws and all. Ultimately, the Stoic path to becoming a top priority in the lives of those you value isn't about manipulation or self-sacrifice. It's about cultivating a garden of genuine connections. By staying true to your values and expressing your genuine self, you become a beacon of integrity. This, in turn, attracts people who resonate with your authenticity and appreciate you for the unique tree that you are. You don't need to be everyone's favorite. You simply need to be the best version of yourself, and the right people will find their way to you. 10. Keep your promises. Let your word be your bond. Integrity was a core Stoic virtue, and keeping promises built trust. A promise, at its core, is a commitment, a verbal handshake that binds us to a future action or inaction. It's more than just a flippant, "I'll get to it eventually." It's a statement that carries the weight of our word, a declaration that our integrity is on the line. And this integrity, this ability to be counted on, is the cornerstone of trust in any relationship. Consider the salesperson who guarantees a timely delivery but leaves you waiting for weeks, or the friend who constantly blows off plans, leaving you stranded and frustrated. These broken promises erode trust, chipping away at the foundation of connection. Trust, in turn, is the fertile ground where healthy relationships flourish. It allows for open communication, where we can share our vulnerabilities without fear of judgment. It fosters a sense of security, a belief that the people in our lives will be there for us when we need them. Without trust, relationships become transactional, a constant negotiation of favors and doubts. By keeping our promises, big or small, we contribute to this essential trust, not just for ourselves but for everyone around us. We strengthen the social fabric that binds us together, reminding others that their word holds value and that commitments deserve respect. Keeping promises isn't just about external validation. It's about forging inner strength as well. When we make a promise, we're essentially aligning our future actions with our present word. Following through on that commitment demonstrates self-discipline and accountability. It shows we take responsibility for our choices and strive to live up to the standards we set for ourselves. This builds resilience, the inner fortitude to see things through even when faced with challenges. It's easy to say yes in the moment, but consistently translating words into action requires focus and determination. By keeping our promises, we don't just build trust with others, we cultivate a sense of honesty within ourselves. We solidify our own moral compass, reminding ourselves of the values we hold dear. In a world that can sometimes feel chaotic and unpredictable, keeping our promises becomes a quiet act of integrity, a testament to the strength of our character. Then, how about this for a rule to become everyone's top priority? Keep your promises. It might seem simple, but for the Stoics, this principle goes far deeper than just avoiding being a flake. Keeping your promises builds trust, a cornerstone of any strong relationship. The Stoics believed in living virtuously, and a key virtue was honesty. When you make a promise, you're essentially staking your word on something. Following through demonstrates that your word holds weight, that you have integrity. People can rely on you, and that reliability fosters trust. Trust, in turn, is the glue that holds relationships together. It allows for vulnerability, open communication, and a sense of security. Without trust, relationships become fragile and transactional. But keeping promises goes beyond just basic honesty. The Stoics emphasized acting in accordance with reason. This means carefully considering what you promise. Don't make commitments you can't keep, either due to unforeseen circumstances or because you overestimated your capabilities. Act with reason, promise only what you can deliver, and then deliver to the best of your ability. This builds a reputation for reliability and trustworthiness, making you someone people can depend on. Furthermore, keeping promises strengthens your own character. The Stoics believed in aligning your actions with your words. When you consistently follow through, you cultivate self-discipline and a sense of personal responsibility. You become someone who takes their commitments seriously, and that builds inner strength and resilience. This, in turn, makes you a more attractive friend, colleague, or partner. People are drawn to those who are dependable and true to their word. Think about it this way. Wouldn't you rather prioritize someone you can always count on? Someone who shows up when they say they will, delivers on their commitments, and is honest in their dealings? In a world full of uncertainty, trustworthiness is a rare and valuable quality. By keeping your promises, you're not just building trust with others. You're solidifying your own character and becoming someone people naturally gravitate towards. That, in essence, is the power of this simple Stoic rule. As we reach the end of our exploration of these 10 Stoic principles, remember, becoming someone others prioritize isn't about manipulation or people-pleasing. It's about cultivating a sense of self-worth and living a life of virtue. By prioritizing your own well-being, setting boundaries, and actively engaging in personal growth, you radiate a quiet confidence and inner strength that naturally draws people in. The core message of Stoicism is that true happiness comes from focusing on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. By mastering your emotions and focusing on your purpose, you become a beacon of stability and resilience in a world that can often feel chaotic. This emotional strength makes you a reliable friend, confidant, and partner, someone people can depend on and turn to in times of need. Remember, the journey of Stoicism is a lifelong pursuit. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and times when you falter. But with each challenge you overcome, each new skill you learn, and each relationship you nurture, you become a more complete and valuable person. Embrace the continuous process of growth, and never stop striving to be the best version of yourself. Finally, the greatest gift you can offer others is not your time or your resources, but your authentic self. By living with integrity, expressing yourself openly, and offering your unique perspective to the world, you inspire others to do the same. In this way, you contribute to a ripple effect of authenticity and virtue that extends far beyond your immediate circle. So, go forth, embrace these Stoic principles, and make your mark on the world, one genuine interaction at a time.